If you are already monetized on YouTube, have you noticed YouTube deducting US tax from your YouTube earnings? Many Nigerians are confused about this, wondering why money is being taken from their ad-in revenue. In this video, I will explain why this happened, how much is being deducted, and what you can do to reduce it or even avoid it. Why is YouTube deducting US tax? In 2021, back then, Google enforced US tax law on YouTube earnings. Since YouTube is a US-based company, the IRS, which is the US tax authority, requires YouTube to collect taxes from international creators who earn from the US viewers. So you can't challenge people on what they have. US is the owner of YouTube. YouTube is based in the United States. So that is the property. So they have the right to enforce US tax law on creators who make money from US viewers only. It therefore means that if you didn't submit your tax information in your YouTube studio, YouTube will automatically take up to 30% of your total earnings. For example, if you made up to $100 from ad revenue, YouTube might take and deduct up to $30 from that $100 before sending your payment. So, how much tax will you pay? If you fill out the tax form, which is the W8 BEN form, also known as the tax form, if you fill out that form in your YouTube studio, then your tax rate will be only 10% of your earnings from the US viewers only. Take note, only 10% from the US viewers only, and not from any other viewers, only the US viewers only. 10% of it. That is when or if you fill out the tax form. However, if you didn't submit the tax form in your YouTube studio, YouTube will take up to 30% of your total earnings, regardless of where your viewers is coming from. So it doesn't concern them if your viewers is coming from Nigeria, other countries, USA, UK, Canada, Australia. It doesn't matter because you did not submit that tax form. They will automatically take 30% of all your earnings, not just the US viewers alone. So this is the reason why you need to submit your tax information as soon as possible. If you submit it early, they will deduct only 10% of the earnings or the money you make from ad revenue from the US viewer only. But if you didn't submit, they will take 30% of all your earnings, all your total earnings, whether it is from the US, whether it is from any other country, they will deduct 30%, right? For instance, if you earn $500 in a month from ad revenue, but $100 comes from the US viewers, what YouTube will do is that if you submit your tax information, they won't touch the whole $500 as getting their tax from it. They will only take tax from the $100, which is what you made from the US viewer, right? So if you subtract $100 from $500, is $400, right? They won't touch that $400. That $100 you made from the US viewers, that is where they will deduct your tax from. And they will deduct only 10% of it, right? 10% of $100, because $100 is coming from the US viewers. Why that remaining $400 is coming from other countries? They won't touch it. They will deduct just from that $100. So let's do the math. You are paying 10% because you have already submitted your tax information. So 10% of $100, that is how much? That is $10, right? So this is what YouTube will deduct, and this is the tax that you are going to pay. However, If you didn't submit your tax information in your YouTube studio, YouTube will take 30% of your total earnings. And what is that? Which is the $500. For instance, I'm just giving you an example. You made $500. So they will deduct 30% of $500. Let's do the math. If you multiply it, 30% of $500, that means you are paying $150 as tax. So compare. In the first scenario, when you submit your tax, you are paying 10% of $100, which is $10 as tax. In the second scenario, you are paying $150. That is huge amount of money, right? So this is the reason why you need to submit your tax information as soon as possible, right? How to reduce or avoid US tax on your YouTube earnings. One thing is focus on non-US viewers. Since this matter of tax payment applies to only from the getting views from the US, right? Then try to get views outside the US. Target more non-US viewers because the tax matter only applies when you earn money from US viewers or from US audience. So to reduce it and to avoid paying tax, target audience, target viewers outside the United States. Target more Nigerians. Nigerians might have low CPM, but it's good. You won't pay tax, right? Target more Nigerians, target more Canada, target more Australia, and target more other countries that have higher CPM. You can still make good money from those countries I mentioned. The UK, Canada, Australia, they are good countries. Target them. If your viewers is coming, if you check your YouTube studio, all your viewers are coming from the United States. It therefore means that you'll be paying taxes steady a lot. You'll be paying taxes steady. So to reduce or even avoid it, make sure your viewers is not only from the US or the United States. Target viewers outside the US, United States, so that it will relieve you from the burden of paying tax or the worrisome of tax burden. To do this, use SEO, search engine optimization, and content strategy. Use keywords to attract international audience outside the United States. Use alternative monetization methods. Let's say you have done all you can, you have done SEO, you have done keyword research, trying to target viewers outside the US. Let's say you have done all your best, but still it is not working and you are still paying taxes. And most of your viewers are coming from the United States, but you don't like it like that. And it's also affecting your earnings. Let's say that, for example, what you need to do is you need to use alternative method of monetization. Don't focus on ad revenue alone. Try to use other monetization options, such as super chats, membership. You can create membership, then sponsorship deal. You can make use of these options. The reason is because membership, sponsorship, and all these monetization options, even the super chat, they don't have taxes. They don't tax them in the same way like the tax ad revenue. If you have a sponsorship deal, YouTube won't deduct tax from it. It is only from your ad revenue. It is not taxed the same way as ad revenue. So if you make use of alternative method of monetization, even if YouTube is deducting taxes from your ad and revenue, it won't affect you because there are other ways where you make your money. Super chat, people gift you. Super chat, people gift you when they like your video, they gift you. Do you pay tax for that? The answer is no. Membership. When people subscribe as a member to your YouTube channel, you earn money. Sponsorship. Sponsorship is something that comes externally. Does it concern YouTube? Right? So you don't pay tax for those things. So when you look at the matter this way, you see that even if tax is really making you, it's even affecting you, affecting your revenue. But when you make use of other or alternative method of monetization, it won't affect you anymore because you are not focusing on ad revenue alone. You have other source of income. Where the problem lies is when you focus on ad revenue as your only source of income and you are paying a lot of tax. That is when you'll be losing money every month. Every month you'll be losing money. So please target international audience outside the US. If you can do that, then use alternative method of monetization. Open membership. Try to reach out and get sponsorship deals and try to use super chats. This will help you to maximize your income and it will help you to, it won't shock you because you do not rely on ad revenue as your main source of income. You also have other options. I hope that makes sense. In addition to that, affiliate marketing, brand deals, and even selling digital products help you to keep more of your earnings, not just to focus on ad revenue. What if you have already paid too much tax? What I mean is that, what if for about 6 months ago, YouTube have been deducting taxes from your earnings, but you have not submitted your tax information. Now you want to submit your tax information or you have submitted your tax information. Those money being deducted from your YouTube earnings. The question is, can you still get them back? Now that you have submitted your tax information, can you still get them back? The answer is no. You have already made the mistake. So this is why I am enlightening you to submit your tax information as soon as possible so that to avoid unnecessary deduction. But you can still ask for refund from the IRS, which is the US Tax Authority. Some smart creators do this. They ask for refund by filing a tax return. But I don't recommend that because this method is very, very complex. You even get tired along the process. So it is better you submit your tax information as early as possible to avoid unnecessary deduction. Now that you have known, just forget about those money that has gone. It has already gone. Say you want to file a tax return, that method is very, very complex. So submit your tax information as soon as possible. If you want me to do a video about how to submit your tax information in your YouTube studio, I will do a video as soon as possible and link it in this video description. But the method is very simple. All you just need to do is go to your YouTube studio, click on monetization, click on setting, then you see submit tax info. Just fill out the form. If I am non-US, you select non-US and fill the rest of your details. I will make a video on this as soon as possible. So make sure you stay tuned. So don't let YouTube take more of your earnings than it is necessary. Submit your tax information as soon as possible. Optimize your content strategy and explore other monetization options, other alternative method of monetization. So I want to hear from you. Have you submitted your tax information yet? Let me know in the comment section so that others can learn. And thank you so much for watching from me here today. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe if you have it for more tips like this. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we want to encourage all of you to keep creating and keep pushing.